Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at the second edition of Summoner Wars. This is actually the starter set. They came out with a core set, which came out with 6 different factions. This is a starter set, which is 2 factions. So let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'm going to give you a general overview of how the game plays, and then I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, so this is the Summoner Wars starter set, which comes with the Tundra Orcs and the Phoenix Elves. So 2 different decks on here. You're going to get a lot of dice with this, and some of your hit and counters here for different things. And you get your little counter here, and it comes with this paper mat. Now this one here is a standalone, or you can purchase it to get 2 new factions for the base game of Summoner Wars, which the base game of Summoner Wars comes with a nice board with it instead of this paper thing, which is fine, but I like the board on the base game a lot better. Basically, what you're going to be doing in Summoner Wars is you're trying to take out the opponent's summoner, which is going to be this one right here. And once this summoner gets down to 0 health, the game ends. And this is the second edition of the Summoner War game, so a lot of things have been cleaned up since the original Summoner Wars was really popular. A lot of player feedback on these things. And each of your summoners is going to have a power, and you're going to set up the game based on this card in the back. So I'm just going to show you these cards here, and then we're going to set up the game, and I'm going to just give you an example of one round of play of the game so you get an idea how the game plays. Again, to win the game, all you have to do is knock out your opponent's summoner. So to start in your deck, you're going to have a 10 gate and 2 5 gates, and these are where you're going to summon these things from, the monsters from. And this board doesn't work when you're playing Summoner Wars. Nothing. No movement, no nothing is diagonal unless it states otherwise, so no diagonal movements in the game, and you can't move through units. So you get your nice Ember Mages, and you get a couple copies of each. So like you see 4 Ember Mages. I think you also have 4 of the tough guys, the 4 health people you see in a minute. And some units are just 1. Like the Fire Drake's really cool. Has a lot of health. That's your big unit. And one of the things you have to remember in this game is you're basically using points to summon these guys, which are going to be the points over here. And that's your currency throughout the game. You're going to start the game with 2 of those. And the only way you're going to get more is knocking out opponent's cards. And once you do, you'll gain 1. You could also discard cards in your hand. And these are spells and stuff that you get to use throughout the game. Something really cool. But it's a lot about managing your magic and protecting your sorcerer while do damage to your opponent's sorcerer. That was the Phoenix Elves. This is the Tundra Orcs. So here's the big Tundra Orc Garnock here. And it does a lot of boosts in the game, which is really cool. And this is the... These are, in this game, the starter deck, which I'm not going to go over a lot of it, you can do deck building. So if you get more decks in here, you can do deck building in the game and make custom decks. And the decks are going to be limited to what your main unit's going to be in the game. So if I look at Garnock just real briefly, these are the types that it can go with it. I'm not going to get really into deck building, but know that's available. And again, you get your 10 health gate and your 3 5s. You can summon new gates by your summoner, but knocking out these gates really hurts your opponent because you're not going to be able to summon units if the gates are gone. Some of the cool spells that you can get, Primal Fury. This one's a lot about boosting your units. So you notice that there's a lot of spells in here. You got your old Tundra Fighter with 3 health, which is pretty good for a basic. Got a bit to them. You got your Tundra Charger. And you got some of your big guys like the Smasher, 6 health. So this one's fun for just being like a tankish thing and boosting up your guys and making them super deadly. Frost Shamans, you got a couple of them for them. Here's some of your big special units that you can use in the game, and those are cool. So we'll be back here. I'm going to go ahead and set up the board, and I'm going to go over just a round of play. Okay, so this is what the setup of the game is going to look like. These are set. Again, you have to follow the back of these cards for setup of the game. And once this is set up, you're going to go through rounds of play until someone's summoner is dead. Now, if you don't at least attempt to injure or take out one of the opponent's units on your turn, your summoner is going to lose 1 health. And you can use these markers here to show damage on units and the summoner. Now, when you have damage equal to or greater than the health of the card is destroyed, it gets discarded, and your opponent will get a point to move up on this track here. You start the game with 2, and on your turn, you're going to just draw cards. Then you're going to be able to summon cards, and the summon cost of your cards is here. Like I don't have 5. So I could summon this, which is a spell, which you could do at different times, but I would say that not right now. I can summon this Ember Mage. So if I want to summon this Ember Mage for 1, I can summon them there or there. No diagonal anything. And I can't summon them here because there's a unit already there. So let's say I summon the Ember Mage there, I'll lose 1. You can summon as much as you want, or as little, and you're good. The next thing you can do is you have to move your units, and you can move up to 3 of them 2 spaces each. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to at least want to hit someone here once. So I'm going to move this one here, and this archer's ranged, so I could do 1, we'll do 2, so I can shoot them. You can go up to 3 spaces away with it, ranged. Then you can build, so if I want to build any of the structures, which is a structure, I would do it now, and it has to be adjacent to the summoner. Then attack. Attacks are going to be very simple. When you're looking at a card, so let's say I'm looking at this card right here, it's going to tell me how many dice I roll, so in this case 3, and for every one of the symbols shown is a damage. So you have these little swords on here. If you're going to do ranged, here's the crossbow on there, and some cards use this little magic symbol here. We're going to try to roll to get those to get different benefits on there. But in general, you're going to roll that, and you're going to apply the damage to the card that you're attacking. Now, if you take out that unit, it gets discarded, and you get to move this up 1. You can attack your own cards if you want, or your own structures, but you won't get any energy from them. After that, you're going to discard all the cards from your hand to gain 1 magic each. Now, sorry, you're not going to discard all the cards. You're going to discard which cards you want to gain 1 of your magic energies you want. So let's say, I don't have much magic. I want to sort of think about putting this big guy out. So I'm going to discard these 2. I'm going to get 2 more energy. I don't quite want to throw away this guy yet because after that, I'm going to draw up to my 5, so I'll have 3 more. So I'm not going to quite get to put this big guy out that I want to do some cool stuff with, but I got some new cards here, and that will end my turn, and the opponent will take their turn. You go vice versa with this until the game ends. Now, if you have some special condition cards at the beginning of your turn, those special condition cards would be discarded. So they actually will last through your turn, through your opponent's turn, and then on your turn get discarded. In a nutshell, that's how you play Summoner Wars. The complexity in the game actually comes with what these units do. So this is like a miniature style game drilled down into cards and made fun. So let's go up here to the table, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the Summoner Wars starter set. So if you've seen my previous video on the core set, you know that I love Summoner Wars. I love Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. I think they did a really great job in bringing more life into it of an already awesome game. The starter set's fine. You get 2 new really cool factions that I'm going to have a lot of fun playing in with the base game. I don't like the paper board that comes with the starter set. I understand why they did that, but whatever. I do love the fact that I get a new set of dice for the game too, so I have a huge dice pool of dice for the game. I technically have enough content now between the two, and with that paper board, I could play 2 simultaneous games and maybe do like a little mini tournament or whatnot. If you like Summoner Wars and you have the core set and you want new factions, which is probably going to be a given if you like Summoner Wars, then you may think about getting this. I don't know for sure if they're going to have these as separate packs. I know they're doing a ton of they're going to be doing a ton of just factions that you can purchase. If that's true, I'd probably just buy the faction separately, because you're really paying for the paper mat and the extra dice in this. Extra dice are nice too, so if that's you want some more dice, do it. You get 2 extra factions too. If you've never played Summoner Wars before and you're looking at getting into it and seeing if you like it, this is a lot less price point than the core set, but I think the core set is a better value for your dollar. So I would lean towards getting the core set, but if you don't want to spend that much money and you want to just check out a really awesome game, the starter set might be for you. So that's my thoughts on it. Overall, very, very solid game. A game I love. The only question that I had on it was whether the starter set itself was worth it over the core set if you're getting into the hobby. And probably I would lean towards getting the core set. If you already have the core set and you're looking for more factions, factions are great. So, but the only question with that is are they going to come out with the separate packs for it? That I don't know. I'd probably look that up before you purchase that. If you don't see them available, then I would probably purchase this if you love Summoner Wars, because it's 2 new factions. Again, you get extra dice. And if you want to do a tournament, there's an extra board in here. It's paper board, not like this nice board that's in the core set, but it's still a board that you can play on. So that's my thoughts on the Summoner War starter set. Thank you for watching.